Mia cucina in Italian means my kitchen. And I tell you what, I have an easy and delicious, amazing dish to show you today. Pero la prima cosa che davvero fare è prendere il faddale. So the first thing that we need to do is to put on a faddale. And I have a very beautiful faddale. Look at this. It is, I got this. I got this. We got this. Okay, now I'm going to put it on. I love this faddale. It is a beautiful faddale. It's very colorful, just like we all are. And this dish, I created it one day because I had these ingredients, and that's how it came out. So what I have here is I have a pound of ground chicken, and I also took 2 chorizos. I took the skin off and I put it into the ground chicken. Because with ground chicken, when we're going to be making these patties, it dries out, and the chorizo kind of gives it a more moisture, a little more fat. So that's what I have here. I also have this wonderful little egg that I am just going to, and this is an organic egg, that I'm just going to, mix together with nothing. That's all there is, just a 1 egg. Remember, the pound of ground chicken with the 2 chorizos in here. All right, so then what I have here is we're going to give it a little taste, more taste, and we are going to have a teaspoon of liquid smoke. But what I have here is a sweet Vidalia onion barbecue sauce. Okay, and what I have here is about 2 tablespoons. I also have a teaspoon, just a regular teaspoon of smoke liquid that I'm just going to add right into the wonderful sauce, this barbecue sauce. And this barbecue sauce, guys, I am mixing it together. It smells. Now, if you don't like smoke, you can omit it. But you don't have to use sweet Vidalia onion barbecue sauce. You can just use regular sauce. And I know that it has quite a bit of sugar, so we're going to be working with that. So don't stress about it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to walk you step by step because I'm going to show you how to cook, how to make this. So I'm going to take this deliciousness that's going to go right in here, creating more moisture. I have a big cast iron, not cast iron, but a pan here, non-stick pan that I haven't started yet because I want to make sure that I show you how to do this first. So I'm done with this. As you can see, I want to get every bit of this done with that. I also have some gloves here because in that way when I make my patties, I'm going to be working with lettuce and other things, and I don't want this to be mixed. Now to this, I have a half of thinly chopped, a red pepper that's going to go right in here like so. It's going to give it a lot of flavor. We're building flavor upon flavor. Then what I have here, it's a half of onion, and this is a white onion, not a sweet onion, just a regular onion, a half, very well chopped. And then to this also, I have 4 cloves of chopped garlic. That's going to go in here, 4th cup of chopped garlic. Done with that. Also what I have here is I have a half a cup of chopped spinach and a half a cup of parsley. That's also going to come in here. It's almost like a meatloaf, but not quite a meatloaf. And sometimes us mothers that are very, very busy, and especially with little kids, which now I'm a grandma, of course, I don't have that, but you can make this ahead of time, make them into patties, come home and do it. Super easy. All right, so then what I have here is I have a tablespoon of granulated garlic, a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of white powder, and white pepper, and a teaspoon of salt. Let me repeat that, because people tell me you go too fast, I can't catch up. We have a tablespoon of granulated garlic, a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of white pepper, and a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That's going to go right in here. That's going to give it a nice zinc. I also have here a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. That's going to go in here. We're not making meatballs, guys. Trust me. Trust you and me. Hey, trust me. Now I'm going to get these little gloves in here that I am going to put on, because these little gloves is going to help me to stay nice and clean. And then what I'm also going to be utilizing here, I know that there's another finger in here. Oh, I got them all wrong. I usually don't wear gloves, okay? I just like to play with my food. I like to feel my food. Okay, this one broke, no big deal. Hey, we're live, you know, no stress. I don't want to stress. All right, so this guy's got to work. So I'm going to use one hand instead of two. It's okay, you know, no big deal. It's just, you know, that's how it is. Sometimes, you know, things work and sometimes things don't. And it's about not stress about this. You know, everybody wants to stress about everything. And stress kills you, guys. Stress kills you. I'm just trying to get my little fingers into these little gloves. All right, here we are. So now that I have all of this, okay, now to get all of this together, because I'm not putting any bread in this, I'm just going to use an egg. That's going to go right in here, the egg, right like that. Done with that. And then with these little hands, now I'm going to turn on my pan, and I'm going to have it on medium. And I'm just going to start working this concoction. Look at this, beautiful. It's full of flavor. It's got all this, oh, you know, I can smell the garlic. I can smell the onion. And then see what I'm doing? I want to make sure to incorporate my egg really well in here. It's like a meatloaf, but not a meatloaf. I make them into patties, makes it a lot easier. Now you could, yes, you could put this in a baking dish. You can put more barbecue sauce, you know, put it in a 375 oven for about 45 minutes, depending on your oven. But I am not going to do that. I just want this to just kind of hang out like this. I don't have to have bread because, you know, I don't have to. If you add the more bread, then it's going to be more harder. You know, that's what I have discovered. So now, as you can see, I'm mixing it really, really well. See what I'm doing? I'm going this way, it's a technique, and I'm going under. You see what I'm doing? I'm going in and pushing it to the middle, like this, pushing it to the middle. All right, so now I'm done with this, and I'm going to take this off very gently so I don't get it on my board. And I am going to clean my hands, and then what I do is I take a regular scoop like this, but what I'm going to do here is I am going to put a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit of olive oil will do, yeah, not too much, because I don't want anything to stick. And then what I do is with an ice cream scoop, okay, with an ice cream scoop, I'm just going to put one on each side there, and then I am going to come back and then I'm going to mush them a little bit with my fork. Very easy transaction, guys. Very easy transaction. Put this over here like so. Turn this up a little bit more. But a medium high. And I'm going to get another one in here. It makes quite a few, so I'm telling you, it's great for leftovers. It's great, and I'm using the back to just kind of mush them up a little bit, and then I will come back and mush them up a little bit more, because it makes nice little pretty rounds. As you can see, it makes quite a bit. Oh yeah. Oh, and it's smelling, as soon as it hits the pan, it smells delicious. Oh yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think you understand. So this one I'm going to put in the refrigerator after I get off the air, because my bowl is nice and cold because I got it out of the refrigerator. So now with another fork, I'm just going to start mushing these guys. Try to keep them in rounds, you know, So you could, actually can you use this? Somebody's asking me, can you use this as burgers? Yes, you could. It's all up to you, but I'm not making burgers. I'm just making chorizo chicken rounds. And this is it's full of flavor, super delicious, and it's not super fattening because we're only using 2 chorizos, and I love chorizo. Alright, so while these little dudes are hanging out here, I'm going to take my little fork, and I have a little thing over here to put my little fork, because what I want to do is I'm going to turn my board over to make sure there's been nothing that has touched anything. What I have here is I have some spinach, because now we're going to start working on the salad. We're going to put these guys on top of the salad, which is much healthier than having to use a lot of bread. Alright, so what I have here is I have 1 avocado that I'm going to slice, but not quite yet. And then I have my olive oil that I'm going to be drizzling. I also have a 1/4 cup of white almonds, and these almonds are blanched almonds, so they have no skin, which is even better for your belly, so it doesn't work so hard. I have 5 little cherry tomatoes, and I also have here, so I took what I did is I took balsamic vinegar and I reduced it to a nice, almost like a syrup, and that's what I have here. And then what I have here is my spinach. So, and this wonderful spinach that I have, well, that is doing that. There we go. Oh, they look beautiful. And you should smell them. It smells delicious. So what I want to do now is I'm going to slice my little wonderful cherry tomatoes. And these are beautiful cherry tomatoes. I grew all kinds of tomatoes, but here in Florida, you cannot, they lasted, my tomatoes lasted, into July. And then my plants are still there and still producing tomatoes, but they are not as tasty. They get a little bit hardened. So as you can see, just going to easily slice these wonderful little guys. And like I said, we're going to do a very simple salad dressing, very, very simple. So now I have my tomatoes. I want to bring my wonderful spinach. And I just want to add my tomatoes here and there. It's a very, very pretty salad. And then you have these wonderful little rounds that we're going to be utilizing on top. That's going to make it so deliciously yummy. Alright, so now I am going to check on my guys. Now these guys are ready to be turned over. Oh yes, oh, and they look fabulous. They're holding wonderfully. The 1 egg really helps. And you're wondering how, that's why you have to chop your pepper and your onion very, 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 chop, because then that way it'll help with cooking. And I'm telling you, you can make this as little hors d'oeuvres. They make wonderful little hors d'oeuvres. And now I'm going to turn my pan a little bit higher because I have quite a few in here. And while this is doing their thing, continuously to do their thing. I always talk about the thing. Then what I have here is some parsley. And parsley, guys, is full of antioxidants and is very good for us. So I'm just going to take a bunch, just a bunch. I am not going to measure. And I'm just going to use, and get yourself one of these guys if you can, one of these knives. It makes it, they're just designed for vegetables. And when you cut an avocado with this knife, the avocado doesn't turn. Yes. And I tested it because I wanted to make sure that what they were saying was correct. It's not really designed to chop, but I just wanted to use a little bit of this. I'm not pushing it very, very hard because if you do, it may break the blade. And be careful because this is very, 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 very sharp. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to put it right also on top of that because that's going to give a nice refreshing flavor to this wonderfulness. And our wonderful little guys are almost ready. There's not a lot of fat that's coming out of these. Oh yes, oh my goodness gracious. And you know what, and if they don't come perfectly round, don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. They don't have to be perfect. I know there's a lot of perfectionists out there, and I used to be one of those. But you know what, I have learned that professionalism, you can be professional, but perfection it creates a lot of stress, unnecessary stress, and that stress goes somewhere in your body, and it manifests into diseases. You don't believe me? Do your research. Alrighty, so I'm still working on these beautiful guys. Oh yes, they are looking beautiful. Oh, baby, 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 baby. Alright, so now what I have here is this beautifulness, this wonderful thing. And what I want to do here is, like I said, I have 2 to 3 tablespoons. I am going to be doing the same thing with my olive oil. I'm going to grab my olive oil. I'm just going to grab a regular tablespoon, just like a regular tablespoon, and I'm just going to add 1 and 2. You know, sometimes they use a lot of oil versus the vinegar, and I like my vinegar. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little shifuli, my little fork here, and just going to mix this together. Just mix this together, and it will mix. You just have to have a little patience. Mix, 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 because this is what I'm going to put over all the wonderfulness and deliciousness. Yes, mix it really, really, really well. I am not going to yet cut my avocado, because my avocado, I want to use that at the end, because as soon as I'm done with this, we are going to manja because we're hungry. Alright, so now I'm going to turn this over again. Oh yes. Oh man, I love making these. And I'm telling you, you can also be more creative with these. So if you have quite a few, the next day you can take this and you can add a jar of tomatoes or something and let it cook in there, and it's a wonderful flavor, and you can use it with some gluten-free pasta. So I'm always stretching the imagination, always stretching the imagination of what food can be. Oh, these are looking really good, guys. And by the time the salad is done, these guys are done. Yes, and these guys are doing their beautiful thing. And wait till I show you how this is going to be. Alright, so then what I want to do now is I have my almonds. The almonds are going to be the crunch and continue to give us more protein. And almonds also reduces anxieties, and it's an antidepressant. It's a natural antidepressant. Do your research on almonds. And these are wonderful organic almonds. So no cheese is going to go, because I already have the cheese in my burgers. I don't need that. And you see that? Look at that. See how beautiful that is? Look at that. Alright, so then now these guys are almost done. So now I'm going to come, with the same knife. Don't worry about it if it has a little bit, parsley, no big deal. I'll hold my avocado down, and then I go to the middle, and I just want to go around it. Be careful. And then, poof, pops right out. I still have my wonderful spoon right here. I'm going to get my spoon that has a little bit of olive oil, which I don't mind that. Put it on my board. I'm going to use my other knife to get that pit out. Oh, get it out. I got it out. I win. And I'm just going, that's my superpower. A 64, I still have muscles. I think it's because I'm always in the garden. And then what I'm going to do is turn this guy over, and I'm just going to slice this. Just slice it. You guys following me? Slice it. Look at that. Look at that. Slicing. We're slicing. I'm going to bring this back over here. I am going to put my slices in the middle of my salad. I mean, who is not going to want to eat this salad? You got your antioxidants, you got the creaminess, you got the salad, you're going to have the wonderful, wonderful patties. And now I'm going to move this, I'm going to turn this over again, because I'm going to bring my wonderful, let me get everything out of the way so you guys can see. So now, remember this, okay? Now I'm going to take my patties, and I'm just going to lay them right over this. And I'm just going to lay them right over. Oh, yes. Oh, mamma mia, che bellezza. What did I say? Oh, my God, how beautiful. This is really good, because you could have, this is a crowd pleaser. You can make this. And you could do all kinds of other things. You know, you can actually make little meatballs with the rest of them. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. All right, so now that I have this, let me turn this off. So now I am going to come over here, okay, and I am just going to make sure you have like a little drizzle thing, and I'm just going to drizzle right over. Oh, oh, it's so delicious. It's so beautiful. And then the rest, you can put it on the side, you can serve it on the side. And now, are you guys ready to see my invention? I love to make inventions like this. This is, look what you guys made. Look at this deliciousness. Look at this. You gotta try it, guys. You got your avocados, you got your tomatoes, you got your almonds, you got this beautifulness. Thank you so much for all my wonderful sponsors. Cola Harris with FARMASI, Soul Angel with Color Street, Stephen and Billy with Stephen and Billy Fishing and Charters, and of course my dear friend Dario Rodriguez with Life and Food Superstores. And I want to thank you for joining